Hello. You're smiling again. You must have seen Laura.
Yeah. Scotty and I were standing in the lobby wondering where we could go to look for her next, and she walked through the front doors.
I told you she'd be all right.
She is now. But you are not, so let's see what we can do for you.
In a minute. First, we got a little catching up to do. Yeah, we have.
Oh, Colleen, I've thought about you a lot.
Oh, me too. Remember the last time I saw you, the day you were released from the jail? Remember what you said to me? You said, my marriage is over. Boy, you were sure one wrong lady, weren't you?
There's something here I don't understand. You didn't fill in the name of the last doctor who treated you.
The same old Lesley, aren't you? Only here you change the subject instead of saying, I don't want to talk about it, Colleen. Remember, like you used to do in the Queen?
Colleen, dear, I don't want to be rude, but as long as we're in the hospital and I'm a doctor, I can help you. Please let me do that. Because lately, that's the only area of my life where I can still feel adequate.
Things are that bad, huh?
That bad.
I've never seen a bypass perform more brilliantly.
Well, thank you for your compliment, Monica, but Mrs. Rockwell doesn't pull through. No matter how brilliantly I execute it, it doesn't make any difference, does it? Lord.
What?
She's so young. She's got her whole life in front of her. All through surgery today, I kept thinking that she could be Lesley. You know, she even looked a little bit like her.
Yeah. Yeah, very much so, as a matter of fact.
The look of pure terror in her husband's eyes just before she went into OR. I'll never forget that.
Rick, come on. You did everything you could. All we can do now is just pray that she pulls through.
I really should talk to Mr. Rockwell about it.
Why don't you just unwind a little first?
Well, maybe you're right. Now, I do have to call Lesley. Maybe about the only chance I get to do that.
Oh, would you ask her from me how Laura's?
Sure. Some special reason why?
Just about what happened this afternoon.
What happened?
Oh, well, you should hear from Lesley. I mean, I would have told you before, but Lesley said she would rather tell you herself.
Well, Monica, wait just a minute. Look, Lesley probably figured that she would see me before this. I've been in surgery all afternoon. Now, if something happened, tell me what it was.
I would rather not, Rick. I don't want to do anything that Lesley specifically asked me not to do.
Monica, I am sure that Lesley will understand if you tell me, because I'm insisting that you do it, and you tell me right now.
All right. Well, I went down to the book room this afternoon to talk to Laura. And what I walked into was quite a scene.
Did you get hold of Alan?
No, I tried the apartment, but there was no answer.
Oh, he's probably having dinner with Tracy or something like that.
Probably. How was Lesley when you talked to her?
Oh, she's fine. Everything under control, anyway.
Did you explain to her why I told you about the fight that Laura and Bobby had?
Of course I did.
Well, what did you say?
I said that I told you that you had to tell me. It was the truth.
Did she understand?
I think so. She was mainly relieved that Laura, after she disappeared after the fight, hadn't run away again like she used to. Just gone for a walk.
So how is she? Laura, I mean.
Well, Lesley said that she seemed all right, taking everything into consideration. Scotty came by for dinner tonight, and he always seems to have a calming effect on her.
Yeah, that's good. Rick, the more I think about it, the more I am sure that it was Bobby that goaded Laura into that fight today.
How can you be so sure of that?
Because I've seen Laura on other occasions very upset. And it's right after a conversation with Bobby. And I really believe that Bobby has been jealous of Laura. And I think now that Scotty's going, well, he's seen Laura again, that I wouldn't put it past Bobby to do anything she could to hurt Laura.
If Bobby deliberately pushed Laura into some sort of physical violence, then she certainly knows Laura's most vulnerable area.
What do you mean?
Well, what bothers Laura most these days is the fact that she lost her control that night with David. And in that moment of blind hurt and anger, she pushed him, accidentally killing him.
So you're saying that she's afraid she might do something like that again.
I think that's the root of it. Yes, she's terrified that she has a pattern of violence in her personality that may come out again. You know, this thing with Bobby this afternoon, I'm sure that she's going to be more afraid of that than ever. I'm just glad you were there so you could help her again.
Yeah, so am I. I mean, I hate to think of what might have happened if I hadn't walked into that book room when I did.
Yeah.
Alan!
Say hello, darling. Hello, Rick.
The chair. Join us.
Thank you. Excuse me.
I just called the apartment. I was trying to find you.
Well, I knew you were going to be late in surgery today, so I decided to work late myself and catch up on some correspondence and reading.
Newsflash, I might be late here tonight, too.
Monica, why don't you go with Alan now?
No. I'm going to wait here and see what kind of condition Mrs. Rockwell's in. Look, Rick, if she needs additional surgery, I want to be here to assist.
Let's pray she doesn't. I don't think she could withstand another operation, not in her present condition.
Oh, look, are you going to IC now?
Yes, I'm going to IC now, and you are going to spend a little while with Alan. That Dr. Quartermain is an order.
Thank you. Listen, I'll be there in just a little while.
Take your time. Alan?
See you, Rick. Take care.
Right.
Ship's the bass in the night now.
Not every night, thank goodness. I couldn't take that.
I'm glad you came by. I mean, even if we spend just a short while together. I think that's important, don't you?
Yes, I do. And
Yeah.
Am I interrupting anything?
No, come on in.
Well, I just got here, and I thought I'd see you before I started my rounds.
Oh, well, it's nice. And good morning.
Seemed a little strange when I got up this morning. I couldn't find anybody there. Both you and Laura gone. I felt a little disoriented again.
Yes, well, I knew that you'd had a rough night last night.
Yeah, it was a long one, and it turned out rather depressing, I guess. Well, the young woman that I did Mrs. Rockwell, I did the bypass on, she went into shock, and I lost her.
I'm sorry. I know you did everything possible.
It's exactly what Monica said, but that doesn't seem to make much difference, does it? I think the worst part was having to tell her husband. One of the hardest things I've ever had to do.
It's never easy, is it? And no matter how many times you have to do it, it never gets any easier.
No, it doesn't, but I guess there's no sense in dwelling on that. Look, I heard what happened to Bobby and with Laura yesterday, and I'm sorry that I didn't get back to the house in time to talk to her about it.
Well, she seems to be handling it all right, and Scotty was there, which helped.
Good. I'll find some time today to talk to her.
Be nice. I'm sorry you had to hear it from Monica instead of me.
Why?
Oh, I don't know. I just sort of feel it's my place to tell you.
Leslie, you didn't see me. Like I told you on the phone, Monica wasn't going to say one word. I had to pull it out of her.
Well, anyway, it's over. And thankfully, Mr. Higgins was right there and saw what happened and didn't go blaming it on Laura's temper.
Yeah, well, it is over. I just hope she realizes it can't happen again because he may not be so understanding the next time around.
Yes, I know. Did you have a good sleep?
Oh, I guess I did. Alice was working on Thanksgiving dinner by the time I left.
Yeah. I know. She did most of her shopping for it, in fact, yesterday. I'm sorry I can't get a little more enthusiastic. Just so that you know, I have invited Lee and Gail to join us, but they're not able to.
Why not?
Because they're going to Steve's, so it'll just be us and Scotty and Jeff and Heather.
Leslie. It'll be a nice day, I promise you that.
Well, it will certainly be a different one. I keep remembering last Thanksgiving when we just been married a couple of weeks, and everything was so wonderful and new. It's like looking at everything through the wrong end of a telescope. It looks so far away.
Leslie, don't feel that way, please. We're going through a bad period right now, but it will be new and wonderful and good again. I promise you that. But concentrate on what we still have between us and its ability to survive and to grow.
I'm trying to. I still awake last night when you came in.
Were you?
Mm-hmm. And I heard you stop outside the bedroom door and then go on to the guest room.
I have to be completely honest with you, young lady. You look 10 times better now than you did when I left the apartment this morning.
Leslie, I don't want you to read something in that isn't there. Now, I spent the night in the guest room because I didn't want to disturb you, and I thought for sure you'd be sleeping.
Sleeping? Wonderful. I've been sleeping dozens of times before. You never slept. Forget it. I'm sorry I mentioned it.
No, look, I want to get it straight once and for all. There was nothing else to it. You haven't been sleeping well lately, and I thought you'd be worn out by what happened with Laura yesterday.
Okay, fine. I was tired.
Well, I guess I better make my rounds on them.
Thanks for dropping in.
See you later.
Have a good day.
You too. Leslie, I think we should concentrate on the good things that we still have between us, and there are many. The love and the respect we have for each other, I think they're at the top of the list, wouldn't you say?
I don't minimize that. Not for 1 minute, I don't.
Well, I hope you don't, because I want you to believe in that and in us.
Rick, I am trying to think positively. I really want to.
Good. I want you to, because we're going to have a marvelous Thanksgiving, because we're going to make it that way.
Okay. I just wanted to see if I have any patients waiting out there for me. Well, if any should drift in, I'm sitting here waiting, unoccupied. Thank you. Hi, Dr. Weber.
Bobby, would you take care of these for me, please?
Of course.
Rick, how's Leslie doing?
Well, it's still a little rough on her yet, back at the clinic.
Steve told me about the board's decision about the contract. I thought it was terribly unfair.
Oh, thank you, Audrey. There doesn't seem to be much any of us can do about it except sit around and wait and hope they change their minds.
Oh, I'm sure they will. I think I'll stop by and see her later on between classes.
Leslie would appreciate that very much. I was really upset when I heard what happened between Bobby and Laura the other day.
Yes, well, so was I. But hopefully the air is clear and they will avoid each other from now on.
I may be a little hard around here. They run into each other so much.
Well, you know, I was here when Laura came in with Scotty, and Bobby went over to her and made a sincere apology. So hopefully that is a very good sign.
Oh, good. I hope so. And Laura's got enough to contend with at school, let alone additional hostility here.
You know, I've been wanting to talk to Laura about her version of what happened, but I think now I'm just going to forget about the whole thing.
Maybe so.
Oh, Rick, incidentally, Jeff told me that he and Heather are coming to your house for dinner tomorrow night. And Steve and I would love it if you'd come by for a drink in the afternoon so we could toast the holiday together.
Thank you. I'll tell Leslie about it. Hey.
Hi, Dad.
Hi, sweetheart. I'm sorry I didn't get to see you last night or this morning. We seem to be missing each other right down the line, don't we?
Yes, I know.
How are you feeling today?
Much better. I'm sorry that I lost control of myself yesterday.
Hey, as long as you got back on top of it so quickly, that's great.
Yeah, I did.
Good.
Dr. Taylor helped me a lot, even though I didn't have very much time with him. I was very late for my appointment.
Well, I'm glad you got to see him. You got to talk it out anyway.
The only thing that worries me is what Mr. Higgins thought of it. And what he's going to report to Judge Stallman. It scares me.
Laura, can you take a break for lunch? We'll talk right now.
All right, I'll drop these books off at the book room, and then I'll meet you in the cafeteria.
Okay.
Okay, I won't be long.
All right.